Welcome in, race fans, to another edition of In the Dirt, and we're not where we said we're going to be. I know we said that we were going to jump and ship and going over to torqueradio.com, where they talk the torque, an Australian-based website, radio website. But yours truly was a little bit too stupid to make the software work. A couple more bugs we're going to shake out, and we'll get it figured out. But here we are, nonetheless, Monday night. Racing season well underway, midway point of Speed Weeks down in Florida. And I tell you what we're going to do.
What's up, Webb?
Brian Gray, welcome to the program.
I was waiting to see if I was on the air.
Yeah, the snafu, Brian and I tested earlier this morning. I got up, actually was up at 6:30 this morning trying to test the new software. And the only thing I couldn't do was get Skype to work.
Well, I was having trouble with it, a few weeks ago when I did that deal with when we had to have you call into the show. So I understand, but there's just something that we're technologically not, in on yet.
Well, my wife just said I'm retarded, so I don't know what. That's probably the biggest thing. But real quick, let's do this.
I got to warn you, I sound like one of those old ladies that smoke all the time.
Are you an old lady that smokes all the time?
I'm not one of those ladies, but that's what I sound like.
Oh. Well, if you quit smoking.
Yeah, that's what the doctor asked me today. He said, do you smoke? I'm like, no, I don't smoke.
Oh. You smoke the competition, right?
Exactly. That's it.
You like
welcome
that,
to
Webb?
Yeah, I like that.
I know
thing.
you're looking at the switchboard, so I'm just messing with it while you're doing it.
Yeah, I've seen that. Kyle May, your new nickname is Kyle Rock and Roll May.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Well, rock and roll is, it'll never die.
Yeah, that's true.
So here we are. We're halfway through the Speed Weeks. Steve Francis is putting on a little bit of a clinic. Don O'Neill is putting on a little bit of a clinic. But our friend of the program, he's an In the Dirt alumnus. He's hosted the show. Chad Stapleton was actually down south. And Brian, what's the report?
Dude, that guy made 2 freaking shows this weekend. Well, through the whole week.
Well, that's good, though.
Did you see that picture that I seen it come up on Mr. Alcorn? He's one of the photographers up here. He put a photo up on Facebook of Chad up against the wall, and one of my big supporters, Mr. Tony Woodward, his phone number is right underneath it. It says 1-888-STEER-US. And I thought that was the most ironic photo of the week.
Very much. I noticed the same thing, and I thought, if he doesn't get that guy to sponsor him, because that's going all out to get a sponsor, to drive up a 10-foot wall to get the sponsor in the picture.
Right, and it was perfect. Like, it was centered and everything. You couldn't have planned it out better. And I thought he was just going to step on himself the whole time he was down there, but he proved me wrong. And I that was cool seeing, a guy I race with every week, make a show against all the competition that was down there.
Well, he definitely had competition down there. Everybody's talking about leading into this week whether or not the 2 shows would work at East Bay and Ocala. By all accounts, there's several people we both know down there, or we all know that it's down there, and both shows survived. Looking to next year's Winter National Speed Weeks, are they going to be able to do that every year, or do they need to work maybe more in accordance with one another?
They're going to do what they're going to do anyway, so that's what I've come to know. But I think it's worked out pretty good. I mean, I've heard it seems like there's a lot more people interested right now. The thing that I don't get is this whole deal with these guys that broadcast it. I think there's a little sketchy area there.
Yeah, I don't know much about. I know that they had a pay-per-view down there. I know that it wasn't done by Sir Rigsby. I didn't get it. Not to say that it wasn't any good. I'm just saying I didn't get it. I'm still finishing up the kitchen that my wife made me redo. But
a lot of us got it, but we just sure as hell didn't pay for it.
Well, that's neither here nor there for Webster. I don't know anything about the. So what do y'all have, a hack or something?
No, I didn't say nothing. I just said a lot of people got it. There's a lot of people watching it, but I don't think their viewer subscription was very high.
Well,
hey man, when you step on the wrong toes, you step on the wrong toes.
Listen. I know that. Well, you guys said you had some kind of feed from, or somebody said they had a feed from Ocala. Is that true? Somebody.
Oh yeah.
I don't remember who.
I watched the race from Ocala. I watched East Bay, and we had a hell of a time. I think there was about when I looked down at the viewer listing, it was a pretty good number. Pretty good bunch of people watching. We had a chat room.
Well, let's just say that
they've got to remember that we're a bunch of dirt racers, and we're all about cheating and getting around the system. So don't be screwing around. Just, be fair. Don't try to push people out, because all you're doing is you're shortening the fan base. You're lowering the exposure of the sport. They want to line their pockets, and that's cool. I mean, I don't mind. I sell fuel. I sell parts. I want to line my pockets. By no means am I going to get rich, but at the same time, guys, you can't just push people out of being able to see the race. We're not at the point where we can afford to do that. We need more and more exposure, and just do a good job and let it be a battle of who does the best job, not a battle of who can keep who out of what racetrack. There it is. And the thing is, and just to play devil's advocate with you, Brian, I don't. The thing about it is production. You got cut off, Webb.
Yeah, that's what I thought happened too. I was making sure it wasn't me.
But he's going to say, I know. I'm going to guess. He's going to say that the production costs a lot of money, and they have to recoup that money. Well, right. when I started building my nose pieces and stuff, that cost a lot of money too. But yeah. I had two tough competitors to compete against. But I didn't knock the other person's product or try to keep them from doing something in order for me to progress. If you're going to invest into a business, you have to, you invest into a business and you invest in creating the best product. And the best product is going to sell if the value is there. So, and that's all. That's what I'm saying. You focus on doing a good job, not trying to, keep other people away. Because the more people that show up, I mean, think about it, Kyle. The more people that are exposed to the sport, the more people that are able to view it. That's better for me and you, for one. It's better for the series, and it's going to be better for anybody who's wanting to broadcast it. So, and let the best man win, not the guy with the most money try to keep somebody else out of the frickin' deal.
Yeah. Yeah, I understand what you're talking about. I didn't at first, but now I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's all I was saying, but a lot of people will take it the wrong way. Right. What the hell happened to Webb? I have no idea. A red light. He said that he's there.
I don't know.
He's not there.
He had microphone problems before, but...
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. I'm going to take us on into a break here for a minute, and we'll play some commercials from some of our... supporters, and we'll be right back here on In the Dirt.
And welcome back to In the Dirt. Like I said, we got to get off this blog talk because they just turn off my microphone whenever they see fit. Brian, you with us?
I'm here, dude.
Kyle, May, you with us?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, let's welcome to the program a driver that Brian Gray is familiar with, Mr. Tim Carpenter. Tim, are you with us?
Yeah, I'm here.
Tim, tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from.
I'm from Williamsburg, Ohio. I'm 41 years old. Started racing in 2006 at Brown County Speedway in the street stock division. I won Rookie of the Year that year. Finished second in points there my second year. Then went on the Moeller Raceway. Brown County shut down. And ran the pure stock class over there and led most of the championship that year and ended up losing it on the last night. Then started in the late model racing in 2009, won Rookie of the Year at Moeller, and then last year finished fourth in points at Moeller and Brush Creek. So that's about all. That's what's going on with me.
So you're actually pretty familiar with Brian Gray then?
Yeah.
We had a run in now and then.
Now, it seems like it can get pretty hairy up there with just Brian Gray and Mr. Chad Stapleton on the Speedway. What's it like?
Dude, it ain't Brian Gray and Chad Stapleton. Dude, you have no idea. Chad hates this guy more than he hates himself, I'm telling you.
Tell me, hey, Brian, you get plenty of time to speak on this program.
You know what? I thought that there was a race this year, and I swear I'm sitting up in the stands. I had no motor, so I'm up there in the stands with Jody, and I watched Chad come off the backstretch, and I thought for sure. And I know it went through his head because I seen the car rear up. He hit the gas. He was going to run through that dude. He really wanted to kill him.
All right, now back to... Go ahead.
Yeah.
Finish up.
Well, let's just say it took plenty of safety crew to stop Chad from getting into Timmy's car. And I'm not calling Timmy a pussy or nothing, but damn, dude, how much are you going to take?
Well, I just got to try to keep that stuff in the past. I don't have the money to go out there and get tore up and everything. I just hope me and Chad can just let things get over with. But
you got a late model.
Yeah.
You obviously I mean, what do you do when you're not at the racetrack? What do you do for a living? What pays the bills every week?
I work on scales for a living.
Work on scales. They got good insurance over there?
Yeah, they got pretty good insurance.
All right. Well, guess what? That means that whatever happens ain't going to cost you a dime. Go and break your hand on his forehead.
Break your hand on his forehead.
I don't want to. I surely don't want to.
Say, or whichever happens first, or let him break his on yours. But I mean, if you break his hand with your face, I mean that's you're the one that's won that fight.
The logic's flying around here. Yeah. Now, okay, we talked earlier offline, Mr. Carpenter, and so even though you may have had a run-in or two with either Brian Gray or Mr. Stapleton, you said that you're pretty proud of old Stapleton going down there making a good show.
Yeah, he didn't make some shows there, and I just like seeing him, get up there and do better, and maybe he'll jump into that Lucas Oil Series or something.
Get the hell out of Bowler, right?
Well, he's got a really good equipment.
He better come back. Look, that dude, it's a good thing that guy went down there and did good, because I know last week I probably said some things, and I told everybody, I said, I'll eat my words. And that was awesome that he made them shows, and I called Matt Morrell 2 or 3 times. I texted him. We talked. He knows. We were all pulling for him. And those are the kind of guys that I want to race against. And regardless of the attitude, if me and him got bad blood between each other, I just want to race with guys that are good. And if he's that good, he's good enough to get in those shows. Those are the guys I want to beat.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. Yep. If you meet Chad outside that race car, he's probably one of the nicest people you ever meet. I've never.
Yeah, he is. He is the nicest guy you would ever come across in the pit area, as long as he's not pissed off. He throws a fit like a 3-year-old.
That's any race car driver. Now, you also mentioned to me, Mr. Carpenter, that you had some announcing. You had something to announce about your program this year. Would you care to take the time to tell us what's new this year for the Carpenter race program?
Yeah, we got rid of the Rayburn car and went out and got a Rocket. We're going to go down to the Dale McDowell class in March, so try to learn how to drive that thing a little better.
Is it going to be at Boyd Speedway?
Yeah, I do believe it's at Boyd Speedway.
Boyd's is and Kyle May, you can talk about Boyd's. Boyd's is one of those tracks where you can learn the most out of a car, right?
Yeah, I think so. It's shaped good and it's got a, it's not banked too much and it's not flat, and they'll usually prep it to, when you're on the track beginning, it'll be tacky. Then they'll, your car will be able to drive the track out enough where you can change the car and go with it. Be able to learn a lot of different experiences on one racetrack. I like it myself personally.
But
what happened to the old Rayburn?
I sold it to Gary Wilson, the one that was driving the car with the 6-cylinder in it.
I got you. Is he going to run that 6-cylinder again?
He said he's got a 406 he's going to put in it and try to run it next year. So.
Now, there's one thing about Gary Wilson is that he is about the straightest guy you ever seen out there. Now, he's not he don't get around there the fastest, but you don't have to worry about him getting into you because he does a pretty good job of keeping it under control.
Yep.
Now, so something to see.
Now we had Stapleton on, Tim. I want to give me your best Brian Gray story.
Best Brian Gray story. I don't know. I mean, Brian's really never run into each other that I know of. I'll tell you, I give you the best Brian Gray story that a couple years ago. Brian will remember this. Was coming off of turn 3. I don't know, was it you that rolled or was it another guy in front of you that rolled?
Yeah, that's what I got a feeling. I don't know who got into me, but yeah, that was me. I rolled it.
Yeah, because you come right across the nose.
Halfway down the straightaway, it was a pretty wild ride.
Yeah, you come right across the nose of my car because the guy that was in front of me got into you and got you rolling, and you went right across the nose of my car, and I think you went right over top of the nose of it when you rolled. So.
I'm pretty sure that I had a piece of like one of your quarter panels or something. But when I got that car back to the shop, there wasn't nothing bent on it but sheet metal. And you seen it. It was pretty wild, wasn't it?
Yep. I had the front row seat there of it when he went over top of the car there. So.
Sizemore said he thought he counted a total number of 8 times, but what it would do is it would hit the tire. And then bounce up and roll and hit the tire, bounce up and roll and hit the next set of tires, or bounce up and roll. And I just kept going. I swear it felt like it wasn't going to stop. And they said it looked like it was picking up speed.
That's because you were just driving the hell out of it.
And I'll never forget this, because when I stopped, I was on my roof. I'm upside down. And for whatever reason, there's fuel pouring out of the carburetor in front, and I'm looking at the fuel. And this is what I think gave those guys. Do you remember at the banquet when? Oh, come on! What's the safety guys? What's some of the crew guys' names?
Al's one of them.
Al.
Is it Al?
Carrier. Al Carrier was the first one to the window, and I think Al's always the first one there. And I thank God that the Moeller safety crew does the things that they do. But this is what I think inspired them to make that backboard that they got the patent on. Now these guys over at Moeller, Webb and Kyle, whether I don't know if you know or not, but with the ongoing improvements in the safety of the dirt late models, everybody's running containment seats and this and that. A standard backboard won't extract you out of the car. So what they done was they developed a backboard that will go down in between the containment seats so that they can extract you out of the car on a backboard and get you out of a containment seat on a late model, which is it's a big deal.
Yeah.
But I was stuck in that car because of the seat. And Al was telling me, he said, we're going to have to cut this roof off of this car. And I was like, you ain't cutting the roof off of nothing. And there's fuel pouring down. He said, there's all kinds of fuel coming out. I said, that's all right. I was like, I got a pretty good fire suit on. Just give me a minute and help me get these seat belts off, and I'll get out of here.
Now,
but it took forever to get out of that car.
Tim, before I turn the mic over to you and you tell us about your 2012 plans and thank your sponsors, I've been informed by one Jody Shannon that before this story had ended, you would have went from flipping actually 4 times to 16, but you cut it down to 8. So I'm proud of you, Brian.
Because that's what Sizemore said. I don't know how many times it was, but I'm telling you, it was a bunch, and it went forever.
Well, Tim, I want to thank you for coming on. So before I let you go, give us quickly what's going to be your first race, and then thank some of your sponsors.
Not for sure what our first race is going to be. if we go down to McDowell, we do pretty good down there, and I think I learned enough. We might go do the Spring 50 that following weekend, if at Florence. But if not, we'll probably run over at Moeller's most of the year, and I'm hoping maybe we can get up in the top 3 this year. I finished 4th there last year. Hopefully, get in that top 3 in points over there this year. And I'd like to thank Croswell Tours. They've been a big part of the racing program. Hughes Automotive. My wife and my dad, they've been with me through the whole time and stuff. So, and we got a new sponsor on board this year. It's Child Care, Batavia Heights Child Care.
Well, Mr. Carpenter, I really appreciate you coming on. Good luck in the 2012 campaign ahead of you. Good luck down there. Coming down here to McDowell School, I think you're going to like Boyd Speedway. So good luck with everything, and thank you for coming on tonight.
All right, thank you, guys.
Mr. Tim Carpenter. Brian Gray, you ain't mad at me, is you?
Oh, no. Dude, that's a misconception. People think I get mad. I don't get mad. You know what kind of crap I hear from these crap holes?
Well, all right, well, on the other side, we're going to come back on with
caller.
Yeah.
What's your name and where you from, sir?
This is Frank Revel, Revolution Race Cars, Richmond, Kentucky.
Mr. Revel, welcome to In the Dirt, sir. I'm sorry that our host, Mr. Webb Dillard, got kicked off again, but as most people know, we were having some issues with the software for our new setup, which is soon to be improved and new and a much better way, I think, to broadcast the show. But for all those that don't know, Mr. Frank Revel is you are the main guy there at Revolution Race Cars, right?
Right.
And where are you guys located?
In Richmond, Kentucky, right in the center of the state of Kentucky.
I'm just trying to carry this on until Webb comes back on, or my co-host here, Mr. Kyle May, has any questions. I've got a good one though. You know, you guys have a website, and I could swore that at one point in time I seen a picture of Kyle May on your website.
Not that I know of.
I think when we won, I'm not sure. I think when we won the ISO qualifier, we posted a video, a picture on his Facebook. I'm not sure about his website though.
Right.
Am I back, guys?
Barely.
Yeah, you're kind of.
Yeah, you're back.
Mr. Revel, I apologize for that. This Blog Talk Radio is about to give me a migraine. Welcome to the show. And I did post when Kyle May won the Ice Bowl qualifier, I did tag Mr. Revel in a photo. I wanted him to see Old Man's Garage driver Kyle May parking in the victory lane. Am I still?
Okay. I was kind of lost at that.
I'm sorry. Am I still there?
Yeah, you're here.
Forgive me, Mr. Revel. You guys are there in Kentucky, and you've recently started building your own chassis, and you've come across a little bit of success with it. Talk about the chassis and talk about that 81 car that drives around in one of your chassis.
Aaron Ridley's been in one all 2011. He won a Pros Series race, I think they're at Talladega, and won his heat race there at Dixie there for the Lucas Show. I think run 6 in the features. Been pretty successful in it so far. Michael Chilton in Kentucky's been in one, and he won 3 special events this year, and one's been pretty successful.
Now, you guys have, I've been following you on Facebook as much as possible. You guys have several that are going out the door. What's 2012 going to look like for you guys there at the plant?
Well, we're pretty busy right now. I'm going to say we've sent cars to Tennessee. We've got stuff in Georgia, North Carolina. I think I sold one today in Indiana. So, yeah, we're going to have quite a few cars out this year.
And you traveled. I know that we talked at the end of last year, and you actually traveled down to the was it the National 100 with Mr. Ridley?
I try to get out I'm out someplace every weekend. You know, whether it's with Ridley or Chilton or just I'm out with one of my drivers about every weekend, just trying to help them and bring some feedback back in so we can continue to make his stuff better.
Well, with as many chassis as there is right now, I mean, Longhorn's kind of new. You guys are kind of new. You know, Rayburn's starting with the 4-bar car now. What sets the Revolution chassis apart? Without giving away any trade secrets, what sets you guys apart?
Well, the biggest thing we've really worked on the front ends. Randy Sweet's worked with me some, and another engineer. We've really worked on the front ends, getting something that drives straight in the slick. And the other thing we're trying to set ourselves apart when the phone rings, you know, just being on it with setup help.
That's right. That's my experience. You know, I'm familiar with Old Man's Garage. Information's everything. We'd have guys call, and I'd do my best to try to get them to. I wouldn't know the answer more times than not. I'm not afraid to admit that, but I'd get them to the guy that does know the answer. Who are the guys? Are you answering the phones, or do you have people in particular?
Well, I've got another guy in here full time with me now, but he's more of a fabricator over on the jig. Actually, all the technical stuff comes through me. Looking
ahead for the 2012 season, I know you guys got several cars fixing to go out the door. What's Mr. Ridley got planned? Are you privy to his information?
They're going to do about the same thing they done last year. You know, they'll probably do kind of a 3-hour radius from the house. You know, Dixie, Rome, all in that area. You know, they come to Kentucky a couple times last year. You know, they're going to do about the same thing again.
Now, the love
probably go to Phoenix City when they get a chance. He likes it over there pretty well. Back to Talladega some.
Oh yeah. I've seen him at some of the tracks in our area here too. Well, going back to what all you obviously raced. Is chassis build just a way to stay involved?
That's a whole lot of it. I started this fooling around with this stuff about 1981. And then I owned cars for about 10 years and had a lot of success with Victor Lee there. We won a couple Bob championships. You know, Brian Asbury's drove for me, Jim Curry. Randy Boggs drove a little bit. And then I worked for Freddie Smith there for 1 year. And the setup is where I've always enjoyed it and stuff. And it just kind of got here about a year and a half ago. I was able to kind of start doing this stuff for a living.
Well, we've talked to several times offline, and you're one of the guys that I think that we're in this to make a little bit of a living, but we do right by people and preserve the sport. I think that's something that you're going to do just fine by, is helping to preserve the sport.
Yeah, that's the big thing today. You know, everybody wants to try to make a dollar, but it's just enjoy being around it more than anything.
That's right. And if we don't try to prop it up, we don't try to give our best to it, it can disappear. It can be gone from us too.
That's exactly right.
Well, all right. Before we let you go, Frank, I want you to give us your website and any information about the Revolution chassis.
Well, the website's Revolution Chassis, and that's spelled REVELUTION.
I will. Anybody wants any information from Mr. Revel concerning the Revolution chassis? Email me at inthedirtradio@gmail.com, and it looks like we lost Mr. Revel. Brian, you there? Blog Talk is especially aggravating this evening.
Well, I'm sitting here watching the screen, and I'm seeing the little knobs and dials just dance around.
Huh.
And so I don't know what the hell the deal is. Which is a good thing. We have another format, which we just need to figure. You need to figure that crap out, Webb.
I talked to.
Shame on you.
I talked to Steve Hellier. He's the gentleman that owns TorqueRadio.com down in Australia today, and we've actually figured out what the problem is, and we will have it hopefully online by next week. If we don't, we can still have this to torture ourselves with. But all right, when we come back, we're going one more break. I'm going to give Mr. Rusty Schlenk a call. Mr. Rusty's going to come on and talk to us about his race program up there in Weston, Ohio. Let's welcome to the program Mr. Rusty, and it's pronounced Schlenk, right, Rusty?
Yeah.
I apologize. Down here in the South, we have a hard time pronouncing stuff, so...
you guys down there have a hard time pronouncing anything, Webb.
Well, I've been down here 15 years, and I've learned how to talk right, as they say, and eat right. Well, Rusty, welcome to the program. We had some wires crossed last week, but we got you now. How's everything going in the off season for you?
Oh, pretty good. Busy. That's actually why I forgot all about it last week, man. I was busy, and I got 4 cars going together in the garage right now, and none of them are mine. So trying to get everybody else's stuff done so I can get started racing here probably mid-March.
Well, now, what is going to be your guys' first race? Are you guys going to go down to Brownstown?
I don't think we're going to make Brownstown. Right now, I'd be happy if I can make Attica when they open up. I believe it's like the second to last week in March.
Now, you guys saw some success in the past couple of years, but before we get to that, I want to know about this dang race party that I keep getting invited to. And I do want to come, don't get me wrong. It's just about a 10-hour drive up there. But talk to me about this party y'all been throwing.
We actually started doing it. Well, we had the plans for it the last couple of years, I think 3-4 years ago, but we started doing it as a kind of a fundraiser deal 2 years ago. This was actually the second annual fundraiser party this year. I think we had sold like 270 tickets this year, so every year it gets a little bit bigger. It started out as just a way to get the fans involved in the off season, kind of throw a party, say thanks to everybody, thanks to the sponsors. We give away some awards, give all the sponsors a little bit something every year, and have some parties or have some different games and stuff at the party. This year we did a tricycle race, which was pretty interesting for grown-ups.
Did it involve any adult beverages first?
Yeah, at first it wasn't supposed to, and I don't drink. I'm not a drinker. So I was definitely going to partake in it. Any kind of race, and I'm up for it. So I started. I sat down on the tricycle, and then they changed the rules on me. We had to drink a beer every lap we made.
Excellent.
Well, that made it.
Oh man, that was bad.
Yeah, anytime alcohol's involved, it's a bad thing for me too, because I'm like a 2-beer drunk.
So
that pretty much means I'd have made 2 laps and I'd have fell off.
Well, we don't thank God we only had to do 3 laps, but
so I had a chance.
Have a chance. Now a lot of times on here we talk about marketing and what a driver does to marketing. I want to go back. The birth of the party is what I want to talk about. It's a very interesting concept. Do you have? Is it mostly fans? I mean, can anybody just buy a ticket and show up to this party?
Oh yeah, man. I don't care if you like me, love me, hate me, whatever. Show up to the party. No, it's mostly sponsors and fans. I mean, that's the way the economy is, man. It's the only people willing to support our habit, to support what we do week in and week out, is the fans, man. It's the people in the stands. Sponsors don't really want to come through as much as they used to. So as drivers, we kind of got to figure out different ways to raise a little bit of money to go racing. I actually got the idea from Jason Fager and some guys out in Illinois. They started doing these race parties, and they were raising quite a bit of money, and sounded like a good idea. So we turned our little party into into a pretty big deal. I'm hoping it's still not quite as big as what Fager and them guys do, but hopefully here in a couple of years we can be up to their caliber.
So, obviously, 2010 you finished as a national late model champion, and we won't even get into that party. I'm sure that party was beyond. 2011, did it just not come around for you like 2010 did? And what's 2012 looking like for you guys?
Man, if we run as good as we did last year, this year, and have a little bit better luck, I don't see why we can't win the championship again. We were in the hunt for it right down to the last couple of weeks. We actually took the points lead back in late August, and we had bad luck. I think 9 out of the last 12 races we had flat tires. So we had 16 wins. I mean, probably should have had in the mid-20s, but it's just first year in this laser car. I figured it'd take me a couple weeks, a couple months maybe to get the thing going. And I mean, it's a new car. I figured I'd have a little bit of downtime trying to figure it out, but we come out winning right out of the box. And so it was. I'm looking forward to 2012 now that we got our ducks in a row, and I know what to expect.
Do you guys get a lot of help out of Bernheisel up there, out of Jim?
Oh yeah, man, the help from them is unbelievable. Tech help. I can call them any time of day. I can call them on race day if I need it. I've been doing it a while. I mean, I got a lot of my own ideas and a lot of my own things that I do. But if I do get stumped, then them guys are more than willing to help me out.
Now, so is this going to be your second year with the laser, or the first year with the laser?
This will be my second year. Last year was my first full year in the laser. I've only got 1 year under my belt so far, so this will be number 2.
There's not very many lasers down this way. I know of a couple cats down here, like in South Georgia's got some lasers, but laser's a pretty big chassis brand up your way, isn't it?
Not actually in our area. There's only 1 or 2 of them that I race against. They're pretty big up in New York, Virginia, Pennsylvania area. The laser's actually like 9.5 ton hours for me. So until this year, there was only 1 other laser in our area, and that was Doug Brown, and he doesn't usually come over there that often. But Doug
he's an alumni of the show. He's been on our show right before he went over to Australia. Now,
yep.
The laser chassis. I mean, chassis. It seems like the last 5 years everybody's building a chassis, and I know laser's been around. But without giving away any of your secrets, but just give the listeners a little. What's the difference in the laser and say the rocket?
Quality. Quality and workmanship, man. A race car is a race car nowadays. I mean, everybody's pretty much running a 4-bar. We all got the same front suspension. I mean, everybody's doing a little bit something different. But Jim and Brandon and them guys that put them cars together up at Laser, they have one person that welds them all together. It's not an assembly line like it is at all the other places. The quality and workmanship is second to none. Out of all the cars I've ever been in, I've never been in a car that can be duplicated as close to the last car that was out of there. You know what I mean? They can put out 10 cars, and every one of them you can bolt the parts on from another one, and they're going to scale out exactly the same.
Well, so you guys run the dirt car stuff. What other? Do you try to catch any of the do you ever go to Portsmouth, or do you go up there to any Lucas shows that get up your way, or the World Outlaw shows?
Man, I tell myself every year that I'm going to try and run most of them, but when it comes down to it, it's just the tire rules kill me. Our UMP stuff, I got a full trailer full of UMP tires every year, and it's hard to compete on them open tires when you like down at Portsmouth and some of them other tracks. You got to buy another $4,000 in tires to go run one race. So I can't ever find it in my budget to do it. But man, this year I've got a lot of big plans. I'd like to run some of the. I wanted to go to Brownstown early in the season, but I don't think I'm going to make it. But there's a lot of other big shows, World of Outlaw stuff that I want to run because some of the UMP tracks when World of Outlaws go there, we can run the UMP tire against them. So I don't have to go and have a big tire budget.
So do you run most of the Summer Nationals, the Hell Tour?
Yeah, that's another thing in our plans this year. I want to do a lot of it. Probably I normally start out, run the first week and kind of see how we're doing. If I still got the funds in my pocket to go racing, we'll try and do the whole thing. If not, I'll come home and regroup for a week and go back out and do the last couple weeks of it. So it's a hard deal to do the whole thing, especially doing it how we do. We don't have too much sponsorship backing behind us, so I kind of gotta race out of my pocket a little bit from what we win the week before. But that's one of my biggest goals every year, is to run as much of the Summer Nationals as I possibly can.
I don't know. I shoot sometimes freelance for old Michael Rigsby at Dirt on Dirt, and I know he thinks I don't want to do it because he suffers through the Hell Tour, but man, I'd give anything for one summer just to go to every race of the Hell Tour, just to say I've done it. From a cameraman's aspect, anyway.
Oh yeah, and it doesn't matter what part of the industry you're in. If you're a photographer, a cameraman, a reporter, a race car driver, crew chief, whatever it is, man, everybody should experience it once. It's a heck of a deal. It'll definitely test your patience, but man, you get to see 5 or 6 different states. You get to see 27 different racetracks. It's awesome. I mean, it takes up your whole summer, but there ain't nothing better.
Now, the Rigsby and the fellas at Dirt on Dirt are pretty upbeat most days, but I've caught up with them occasionally after the Hell Tour is over, and let's just say they run ragged. They run pretty ragged.
Oh yeah, they are. I mean, everybody is. Everybody who's involved in it we're the same way. But you know what? When we're 15 nights into it, we're all complaining that we're worn out. But on that 16th day, when we wake up, we're pissed if it gets rained out.
That's right. Well, Rusty,
speaking of Schlenk run ragged, I've got a pretty good story here. You drove for a good friend of mine, Sauce, up in Versailles.
I definitely. We won a lot of races with Sauce. That's kind of a good deal there.
See, I ended up, Webb, with my first rocket was one that Rusty had rolled somewhere and bent it all to pieces.
It was probably one of his parties. He said, "Hold my beer, that I'm not going to drink and watch this."
It had to definitely be a watch this, but we got it all back together. So Rusty knows what kind of car I've been having to deal with the last couple of years racing against Stapleton and those guys.
Oh yeah.
But you've made some trips over to Fairbury the last couple of years, right? That's like one of the DRC's favorite tracks.
Really? Man, I have the worst luck at that place. every time I go there, I'm either getting wrecked or we're getting DQ'd, or man, I have some horrible luck over there. I usually run pretty good. I like the racing facility. I
have good luck at Fairbury on R Factor.
On R Factor?
It's the only track I got.
On that game.
tell us the story. What happened the last time you were up there?
Where's that, at Fairbury?
Yeah.
Oh man, last time we were up there, I didn't even get to race.
Come on, give us the real. We've heard all the internet bullcrap. Give us the real story. Tell us what happened.
Pretty much what happened. I was in the wrong spot at the wrong time with some pretty mad rednecks. I was walking up to the lineup board to see we're getting ready to qualify, I believe it was, and get the lineup, and I was standing in some guy's pit stall with a street stock car that was driving through the pits, and I waved him on. I kind of stopped, seeing he was coming, and waved him on. Well, it happened to be that I was standing in his pit stall, and I didn't realize it. And he got all mad because I was in his way, and he took off with his car, tried to run me over while I jumped out of the way. We had a few words with each other, and I went on my way. Well, a couple minutes later, I had to come back up. They didn't have the lineup up yet. So a couple minutes later, I walked back up there to see if the lineup was up, and his whole crew of buddies was coming after me. So I guess they had gotten in an altercation with somebody during hot laps, and they thought that I was with that team or whatever. They thought I was the driver of the car they got in an altercation with. Come to find out is what the track promoters told me. So I thank God I had a box cutter in my pocket from cutting zip ties off the stock. So I didn't pull it on them or nothing. I pulled it out of my pocket. I'm like, leave me alone, let me go. Well, I guess it's illegal to even show somebody that you got one in your pocket, because evidently they kicked me out, and I mean, they didn't even kick me out. They told me I couldn't race the rest of the night, so it wasn't too bad. But
hey, Rusty, from now on, from this day forward, I mean, you've let it out now, but from this day forward, please say it's a Switchblade. don't call it a box cutter.
Dude, that sounds like a That's a good nickname for Rusty Schlenk, the box cutter.
Yeah.
Man, I've heard it all this year. I've been called box cutter. I've been called switchblade. I've been called utility knife. That's actually what it was, a utility knife, if we're going to be politically correct.
Utility knife.
So, Rusty, it didn't come out of your tool belt, did it? You didn't have a tool belt on.
No, I wasn't wearing a tool belt.
Okay. Well, all right, Rusty, before we let you go, first of all, I want to say thank you for coming on. Last week we had crosswires, no big deal. We appreciate you going to be back on for sure. But take the next few seconds to tell us where you're going to be at in the coming months and thank your sponsors.
Hopefully we're going to start out here at Attica. We're going to, we got to get one race in before April anyway for UMP, and then probably start up at Kankakee when they open, and we'll definitely be at Oakshade all year. Their points fund went up to 8,000 again this year, so I'm going to try and win that deal again. And hopefully Attica, they had word of changing from UMP points, so hopefully that doesn't go through. Hopefully we stay UMP so I can race there all season too, but definitely got to thank some of the major sponsors. I got a lot. I'd be here all day, but I got to thank Zeller Automotive. They came aboard this year and stepped up the program quite a bit. Micro Armor, lubricants, Landrum Springs, AFCO Shocks, KB Carburetors, Wiles, Drive Shafts, pretty much all the product sponsors that make this happen. So I got to say thanks to those guys.
Well, I appreciate you coming on, and maybe next year I can come up and I can stream your party live on the internet.
Well, that would be awesome.
What about a Rusty Schlenk 91 pay-per-view?
I don't know how many people subscribe, but
the tricycle race. Yeah, we'll do the drunken tricycle race live on pay-per-view.
There we go. We might get a couple subscribers. I don't know if we can get pay-per-view to go for it though.
Well, all right, brother.
What is it? You can Ustream it.
Yeah, I'll Ustream it. Yeah. We can talk about that. Well, all right, Rusty.
Awesome. We'll be in touch. We'd love to have you up here next year.
Not a problem, brother. I appreciate you coming on. We'll get back with you later on this season.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Problem. That was a good little call there, Brian.
Dude, I had to bring that up because that was big talk around here for a while. I just wanted to know what the real deal was, and now it was he cleared it up for me.
Well, I still think he should go with Switchblade from now on.
Yeah, I don't know, unless there's some legal altercation. See?
Yeah, Kyle May, would you pull a box cutter on me if you had to?
Well, I'll have to be really quick and just cut you a bunch of times real small.
Well, I got a surprise guest that I didn't announce, but we're going to bring him on now. Mr. Matt Morrell, is that you?
Yes, sir, I'm here.
What's going on, brother? Talk to us about East Bay.
Dude, are you stuck down there?
No, I just got back actually about 3:30 this morning. Got back. Long haul, 16 hours, and then 2 more hours after I got back to Indiana, back to Ohio. But East Bay, yeah, it was a good night. It was a long week, and a lot of working on that car. Chad didn't seem to like the wall too much. He was trying to knock it over a couple times, and
knock it over. Hell, he was trying to jump it.
Well, that was the first night.
Okay.
After that, it got a little less worse,
It got less worse as the night went on.
He eventually figured it out, man. He eventually figured out the track. It took him a minute, but he got it down.
It didn't get better. It got less worse.
Yeah.
That's right. So seriously, so the first 2 nights out, not so good, but give us a first-hand account of him coming back into the pits after he knew he had drove his way into the race.
Oh, I tell you what, man, that dude could have jumped over the hauler after he realized he was in the race, especially on Saturday night when it was the TV race. The man was about in tears. He was so happy about making that race after the week we had, And I was happy for him. I was happy for the whole crew. We were all real jazzed about it and just ready to get it out on the track. And we knew we had a car all week that could make the show, because the times we were putting down were just as fast as the guys around up front. We just couldn't get the car to work for him, and he was having a little trouble figuring out how to get around the track. So it all kind of culminated into a bad week up until Friday, Saturday, when we made the show both nights there, and that was cool. I mean, he was just so jazzed about it, honestly.
So who'd you guys park next to down there?
Justin Ratliff and Shelby Miles.
So after he made the race, were they trying to go over there and look what y'all had?
No. Justin actually ran pretty good all week. He had the last 2 nights there that had some issues, but Justin ran pretty good all week. He was running fast times all week. And Shelby, he was running pretty good. He
was running
all
good
things
all
considered.
week long.
Right. It was his first, he came from modified, went to the late model, and this was his first week in the late model, And he ran awesome in it. And once he was on last year's tires was the biggest problem with him, why he wasn't running better than he was. And once we came over and talked to us, and we told him you need this year's tires because they're a lot different. Once he put brand new tires on it, he was super fast. Qualified second fast that Thursday night. He was doing good.
Now, was there any grumblings from the drivers down there of the track, or was the track in pretty good shape? I know that people kind of guessed wrong on the tire wear.
Wow, tire wear was huge. That track was just eating them alive. I know Saturday night we took a pit stop. We were planning on doing between 30 and 40 changing the tires. Just from what we saw on Friday night, once people changed tires, they all shot straight to the front on those new tires. So we were planning on 30, 40, set us up for the last run there. Lap 11 came around, and we went down and checked some of the tires of the guys who were involved in the wrecks, and they were already chewed up. So we brought him in right then and put harder tires on to try to go the distance with them.
Now, at one point, what I was watching is that he made it up to 12.
Right.
Was that the best? And
Was
then all of a sudden he drops back to like 15.
Yeah, he kind of got shoved up out of the way there. We had a problem there in the last 2 nights with this certain driver shoving us up out of the way and causing us to lose lots of spots, and then getting pinned down on that track where you just couldn't pass, really. You had to move people to pass them because it was just pretty much a one-lane deal all week. You could get in there, and if you kind of doored somebody a little bit, you could get around them, but that was pretty much one of the few ways you were passing there, unless they goofed up.
Now, was that the new car that he was in, the brand new one?
No. Nope, we never broke that out all week. He didn't want to tear it up, honestly. And East Bay is not a good place to bring out a brand new car. It worked out good for Cordy. Cordy had the orange front end out there running. He was running good in it, but Chad just didn't want a chance of wrecking that new car on for the Winter Nationals, so we left it in the trailer all week and ran the black front end all week.
So are you going to be helping him out all year, Matt?
I'll probably be helping off and on here throughout the season.
You'll be at Brownstown for sure, right?
Yeah, they're planning on being there at Brownstown. They're actually still down there. They went over to Volusia to just watch for a couple of days and then come home. And I had to get back, so I took a ride up with some other guys and got home last night.
Yeah,
or this morning, I should say.
East Bay is I was down there with Neesmith, and it was pretty racy for the crate cars. I expected the late models to have a good time. I didn't hear much about tire wear, but I really didn't go out there looking at everybody's tires, but
well, the tires they were running on the late model were 1100s. Those things are super, super soft. And with that sand mixed in with that clay, it just tears them up bad. You can only run about one race on a tire. Especially
they were on 1100s?
Yes.
Man.
That's why tire wear was so bad. And they said they were trying to save everybody money. They'd only let you change one tire. If you went to the B main, you got to change one tire. And then 4 new ones in the feature. But I say if they're going to save people money, they go ahead and put everybody on 1600s or something a little harder that won't get chewed up as fast.
Yeah.
Because, we went through probably I'm gonna say 20 tires in the week. And,
was there a bunch left in the pits?
Oh yeah. You're supposed to clean them up, but a bunch of guys just kind of left them lay.
Yeah. When we were down there in the drivers' meeting, Todd Hutto said, "Hey, y'all take your tires with you." I bet he got a bunch of new ones, old ones.
A bunch of new ones that are going to be able to be used because they're all chewed up.
Well, all right. Well, Matt, appreciate you guys calling in. If you talk to Chad, tell him we're proud of him, or I'm proud of him. Brian,
I'm proud of him. Hey, I told you, dude. I have no hate for anybody. I was pulling for him, and I talked with Matt on the phone. We talked a little bit. He knows.
No, hell yeah,
we're all real proud of him. We're all real proud. There's a lot of guys in those pits pulling for him to run well, and everybody was pretty well excited for him when he got in that race. So it was pretty cool. A bunch of people just came over, a bunch of drivers. Everybody came over and congratulated him for making the races. So that was pretty cool. Also,
go ahead. When you're down there with some of the best drivers in the sport, and you get to race with 23 of the best guys. I mean, that's a huge accomplishment as a racer, I'm sure.
Right.
Yeah. And the bottom line is this, Webb, is I race with Chad on a weekly basis. So if he doesn't get better, how the hell am I going to get better?
Good point.
Anybody?
Kyle May. We need to get Kyle May to East Bay or to Volusia.
We need to get Kyle May up to Moeller.
Or Moeller even. There you go.
I like it. I like anywhere that's round and has some dirt on it somewhat. Just go, man, go.
maybe some chicks.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm looking for. Anywhere that has chicks, I'm there.
Oh, all right.
We got some of that.
Mr. Wade Logan's in the chat room, and he says out loud in all capital letters, "Matt, I love you."
I love you too, Wade.
He says he loves in a straight sort of race team way.
Yeah.
Well, all right, guys.
Before you let me go ahead. I just want to take a minute here and let everybody know, DRC, we're coming up with some new cribs that are hopefully going to be filmed here in the following weeks, released right after we film them. Chad's one of them that's coming up, and a couple other things that we're working on right now, too. So be on the lookout at the drc.net for some new exciting things coming up.
Hey, is Chad's already filmed?
No. Once he gets back, we're going to go over there and film them.
Make sure you show him mine right before he does his.
All right.
Yeah. Wade Logan said not straight at all.
Get him good and liquored up, too.
Yeah, it's going to be total chaos once we get up there to Edinburgh. That's for sure.
I'll send you a bottle of Crown Royal. That's
what
he likes, right?
Yeah.
Or
a case of Coors Light, whatever. He likes it all.
Yeah.
Well, guys, I appreciate everybody coming on and dealing with the blog talk once again, dropping me anyway. I'd like to thank Mr. Tim Carpenter coming on the show tonight. It's been a very Ohio-ish, Indiana feel for the show this evening.
It's been a very Ohio-ish feel, hasn't it?
Yeah. Frank Revel with Revolution Chassis.
Speaking of Webb, I got somebody to thank. I just got confirmation yesterday. Aaron had a big meeting up in Indianapolis with the folks from VP Fuel, and I'd like to thank VP for coming aboard to be a proud supporter of the BGR Armory for this year, and let everybody know that we are now the official distributor for the Cincinnati market for VP Fuel. So anybody that needs fuel out there, that it's good news because of this. We're going to save you a whole bunch of money on gas and get you really good stuff.
VP Racing Fuel.
Yep, VP. I cannot think of anything better than VP to put in your car, and I got a feeling that most of the engine builders out there are not going to disagree with that.
Well, we certainly appreciate VP coming on board with you and letting you do what you do, Mr. Brian Gray, and that's drive hard, turn left, and raise hell, I assume.
Yeah,
Also,
that's what we live to do.
Also like to thank Rusty Schlenk for coming on. Now that was a fun call with Rusty. I enjoyed that.
I was hoping he'd say, well, I pulled that box cutter out and I told him I'd cut something off of him if he didn't walk away.
I still vote for Switchblade. He needs to step it up. It needs to go from box cutter to machete.
Machete. I pulled a machete out of my pocket.
I'm gonna cut you 3 different ways: long, hard, and repeatedly. Kyle May, I appreciate
that was Kyle May. Kyle May said he's gonna cut you repeatedly and quick.
Several times.
Quick and repeatedly.
As fast as I can go.
Kyle's best defense will be running the other direction. But anyway, Kyle, you guys heading up to Winchester this weekend?
Yeah, we're going to go up there and, we'll probably be like on Jumanji, that little rhinoceros that's running around, right in the back of the pack, puffing and puffing, but we're going to go and give it a shot.
Well, Kyle May, good luck up at Winchester. Maybe I can get up there, I don't know. But I'd like to thank everybody for coming on. Please bear with us as we transition to TorqueRadio.com. TorqueRadio.com. We talk to Torque at TalkRadio.com. They also have shows on drifting, shows on drag racing. They're gearheads down there in Australia, just like we are here. So you guys check out TorqueRadio.com. And for everybody here at In the Dirt, I'm Webb Dillard. We out.